Hello, everyone, and welcome to TNT Thursday Night Throwdown every week from 8 to 10 p.m. EST. I'm Sonsoyo, your host, as well as I got Ardy over here. How you doing, Ardy?
Doing fantastic. Excited for some phenomenal finals gameplay today. It's a nice Thursday. We had the mid-season update today. Been playing a lot of cash ball, but our players today, we're forced them out of cash ball. Every single one of these guys. You know how hard it was to get them out of those cash ball queues and get them into some 3v3s?
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was difficult.
I played a few cash ball games myself. It does look pretty cool. I do like five stacking in it. It was pretty fun earlier on in the day, but I only got to play like one or two rounds. But we got our teams. We do have the Steppers from Pro League. We got Kip Kip, Unfortunate, and Just Angel. And we do have a new team, SinnerG, with Y Satan Y, Bobo, and Sparrow over here. So what have you seen about the Steppers over on the Pro League side, Artie? Anything that you want to note?
I mean, they are an NA team, of course. I am more of an EU boy, but the Steppers have been stepping up quite a bit, especially this season. I know that they have actually left quite a bit of a mark on the Pro League leaderboard, but I want to talk about SinnerG because there's one name on SinnerG that I recognize here as Y Satan Y. Before I didn't recognize the name, I thought I knew it. And you told me this guy's a flamethrower one trick, and I remembered. This guy came into, I think it was Pro League, I think it was, or it might have been another tournament that I was casting at one point. I remember seeing the flamethrower, and oh my lord, did Y Satan Y make it work? And everybody complained very loudly. And that's just one of the things that I love about the finals is that every single weapon is viable, except for the MGL. Every single weapon is viable at any given time, and the dual blades. Love it. Fight. The teams have a lot of opportunities to still subvert expectations, even when the timing is unable to be hidden.
Yeah, I do agree. I think this map plays a lot similar to Sis Horizon. Like you said, those long corridors being very difficult to cross over at times. But without a further ado, we're going to be going into this match. We're going to be going straight ahead with Vault 1, as we do see both teams making their approach over into the Via side of things. Sitting in this alleyway, gonna get a DMAT up and take some entry shots. Gonna need to get some big damage. Y Satan Y getting taken down to half HP. Gonna need to look for that reset, but that flamethrower getting some great damage on not only Kip Kip, but Just Angel himself. And it's just gonna be a 2v3 scenario, looking for that refib on Bobo over there, as Bobo looks to be chased down.
Oh yeah, look to see what he's gonna be capable of here. But luckily, Y Satan Y comes back up. Got a good opportunity for Steppers, though, to kind of get an early setup over towards Cash Out B, should they choose to do so.
Yes, and with this vault cracking, we're going to be looking for some off-angle. Sparrow getting some great damage on Kip Kip. Just Angle looking to take that 1v1. Does go down, and we do get the trade coming out from Unfortunate. Unfortunate now in a tough spot as Bobo gets the short end of the stick and gets taken out. Satan looking to take out Unfortunate with that lock bolt. It looks like he might get it, but he does DMAT away, and it looks like Satan's on the chase.
Satan just chasing straight out the flamethrower. I do respect him for sticking with the mesh shield as well. A lot of flamethrower players I've seen have just committed fully to the winch claw, but Y Satan Y knows what he likes. Unfortunately, though, Kip Kip also seems to know what Y Satan Y likes, and they were well prepared for that. And yeah, Stepper is going to be able to step their way over to Cash Out B, have an early chance to set up over on the research facility.
Yeah, I do think the mesh shield is probably the better choice, but in this meta right now, as we've seen it develop in Pro League, the winch is just extremely powerful. Not only against the winch, but the flamethrower. You're able to take that, subvert the distance of that mesh shield, and bring it right into your SA-12 and get that TTK on top of that flamethrower. But we're going to go for some entry shots. Looks like we're going to be jump padding over to this billboard. Going to look for some high ground. They don't find anything, as we do see SinnerG take the low ground and take the slow approach towards B.
Yeah, looking to see, hopefully, Steppers trying to come in through here. I thought originally we were going to be seeing some kiting going on, but you know what? Steppers is taking their time. They know that no matter what happens, when SinnerG takes this cash out, seems that they are ready and waiting up on top. Just Angel still not getting picked up yet. Unfortunately, kind of waiting with those paddles. Not quite sure what we're looking at there, but for now, looks like Steppers have actually got themselves a really good opportunity to set up over on the point. I don't know why that they just let SinnerG have this entire space, but given that SinnerG, they're not gonna just say no to that opportunity. Jumping back in immediately, and that is that close quarters fight. Why say around the point? Unfortunately, no kick a little bit faster on the trigger. Now just down to unfortunate Steppers, and will not have those paddles available. So just to be a quick wipe, SinnerG take this cash out, and what awkward timing. Steppers just stumbling over their own plays here, and I don't know. I was kind of at a loss for words when I realized that they were just stalling the res on their own teammate.
Yeah, I do think SinnerG got a good timing on the pick on Just Angel, and that afforded them the time that they needed to get that steal. But like you said, they delayed that res just a little bit too long and weren't able to get that stall. So it looks like SinnerG is going to be able to take this cash out one. We're going to be going in with Steppers trailing in behind SinnerG.
Alrighty, well, looking like the next vault spawn is going to be definitely in favor of SinnerG, but Steppers already quickly here. Nice RPG opening by Kip, but looks like a little bit of separation is on the menu here for the Steppers. They look exactly to see if they're going to try to split the fight, but no, they're coming in to collect on two players of SinnerG involved here. Why Satan Y getting absolutely chunked out, but it's going to be Kip. Falls out first. Why Satan Y does end up going down in that fight there, but once again, we just find ourselves a singular player from Steppers left alive. SinnerG doesn't have enough time to reset here, so Just Angel finds one of his own.
Now we're going to be going on the chase, trying to take out Just Angel. He did win that 1v1 against Sparrow. Bobo now taking the body and looking for the rest as Satan chases a light. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to this. He does not have Lockable in hand. So we're just get the reset as Just Angel's team also coins in over on the CNS side. Sparrow losing that 1v1 yet again to Just Angel, but a trade comes out from Bobo, and now Bobo might be caught in a 1v1 against Unfortunate. He does look to goo and D-man away and get that res as Kip might go for the fight here.
Oh yeah,
Kip
big
RPG.
The fight. Winch though, not gonna be able to pull him in through that gap in the staircase. Kip also 12 shots from chamber. Nice little separation on this fight, but for now, Steppers still looking to see if they can find any opening pick. Every single moment they've had, Sparrow goes down the edge, but I think he just tried to go for a little swim in the canal or something. It looks like Bobo gonna just use the paddles right here in the fight, and of course, Steppers, they find that moment of opportunity, take advantage. Why say why? Gonna try to burn him to death, but not gonna happen quite just yet. Unfortunately, goes down. Kip does go down. Wait a second, this is the moment that Steppers clutch it up with Just Angel. 1 HP in a dream. Oh, last remaining player, SinnerG though, Bobo. He gets that final shot. The messiest vault fight I have seen in a few weeks, Sonsoyo.
Yeah, no, I agree there. We went so long just fighting over this one vault. Not a clean wipe coming from either team until now. But we don't have a long way to rotate over to C, so this plug is going to go in basically right as this team, the Steppers, spawn in. They do spawn in, and now they're going to be able to get some pressure. They do spawn over in that Via building. Going to have a little bit of a hike all the way over to CNS side, though.
Here's shot come out first. It's going to be SinnerG. Has a really good opening angle here. Bobo taking advantage of that long process to take. Oh, the lockable flamethrower come. But Kip, he's a little bit faster. He's going to be able to withstand and overcome. Now here comes Bobo on the sidelines. Trying to finish off that damage. The winch will come in, but Bobo has just enough HP to make it work. Just Angel over the side, trying to figure out if he can take last chance. If he can find where Bobo's getting the res. Will stick the defib. No, he's not going to be able to get it off. Just Angel instant shots. And now we've got a final cash out here, possibly, but looks like SinnerG will have one more chance.
Yeah, and they get a clean flip. I'm curious if they're going to set this up. They do have a winch. They're not going to look to steam at this outside. It's definitely an interesting play to not do this against a flamethrower, lacking that range. But we're going to see how the SinnerG do make their approach onto this step. We're going to just go right over. Bobo taking some entry shots. He's going to be able to heal that back up, getting a little bit split from his heavy now. Bobo now going to try and find Just Angel peeling for his heavy and go up to this top floor. They need to get that heals on Satan. Kip looking for a big RPG. The Lockable and the RPG do trade half HP on Kip. He does get healed back up, and that's going to be the H1 Infuser down for both teams. Unfortunate, dropping the Wise Flamethrower. Kip and Just Angel getting some great value, and now we're back in a 2v1 scenario. Bobo getting the res, 1 HP. He needs to stay up and stay alive for his team as he push away Just Angel. But they have no time. They have to go stick this. Just Angel does recognize this, and Bobo's 1 HP. That dome coming down, but not blocking the shots, and Steppers are going to take it.
Wow, incredible timing from Just Angel, and honestly, I think Just Angel is the star of the show so far because every single one of these fights has been won by Steppers simply because Just Angel can stay alive for just long enough to make something work. Every single time that SinnerG has actually gotten the win on those team fights was just because of some good res timing that they were able to take advantage of and make sure the Steppers just can't recover as quickly. But they can't recover, still have to worry about Just Angel. He's going to clap in and find a 3-piece in that fight just as I'm glazing him.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Flamethrower is going to be struggling against his H1 Infuser. If we do get that off with proper timing, it's going to basically nullify all the damage that is done. So with the Flamethrower, you're going to have to really prioritize those multi-hits that it can do to get value and deny the H1 Infuser. That's like the utmost importance that Satan can be looking for in these fights. He's been doing relatively well to get the value. We just maybe need a little bit more follow-up from his team to try and make it work. As I say that, Bobo goes down.
Just Angel yet again. 9-3R looks so crispy these days. And, well, looks like Bobo will be able to come back up. Thanks to a quick rest from Y, but just as he goes up, Sparrow goes down. The trades just unrelenting out here from Steppers. They're making sure that they are not letting SinnerG cross this building, cross the street. Gonna be a lot harder for them to do so as well. Even though they've got the mesh shield, they know that that damage output is limited with the flamethrower. Right there, another trade. Unfortunately, takes out Bobo. Bobo was able to get a trade to Just Angel.
And now we're gonna be going and getting that lockable, but it's gonna be not much you can do there as one player. Unfortunately, does go down to the fire on that tree. Unfortunately for him, so gonna be a little bit of a hike now back for his team, but they're gonna have plenty of time to get back over there.
Oh yeah, one more fight remains to see where they're gonna get the spawn, but for now, Steppers looking to just retain high ground. They don't necessarily need to fight off the point for now. All they have to do is get some good kiting going. Make sure that wherever this fight comes from, stand on the cash out. Immediately, the gateway is going to come through. The damages as well. Why Satan Y already removed from the fight. Unfortunately, they go down as well as Bobo. Kip down too. We're just down to the lights. Just Angel, full HP. Sparrow, 1 bullet is all that stands. Just Angel going to be sticking a res. Incredible stuff. Sparrow, not much he can do now as he jumps over to the side. He finds one on Just Angel. Kip, full HP, still up. Has the winch available to stall out the cash for now, but he's just gonna hard stick a res. Looks like Sparrow might be trying to do the same thing. No, he's looking for the moment of opportunity to try and get a steal. That time is running out as Unfortunate's back up too. Sparrow's gonna go out, and even though Y coined, that's the game 1 for Steppers.
Steppers taking a really clean win. Looking a little bit shaky in terms of adapting early on, right at the start, but the adaptations came out and they were able to clutch things out in those second 2 cash outs that we saw. I was a little bit nervous for them at the start.
Oh yeah, I mean, once they figured out exactly how they need to set up and get ready for the next ones, I think that it's the most important thing to make sure for teams, right, is are you a team that can just adapt and overcome once a team is already just aping you, or are you a team that's better off if you can take a second to breathe, say, hey, what are our surroundings? Where can we kite? Where can we go? Where's the fight? 100%. We're gonna be seeing Sparrow stick onto the ARN, Bobo on the F car, Y, of course, on that flamethrower. The other side, we'll see if Steppers have kept it the same as well. But excited to see what Vegas Stadium has in store as we get ready to start off strong. Take a look now at the kit that Steppers is rolling with. And we got the FAMAS SA1216 93R. So everything the exact same over to the side of the Steppers.
Yeah, we're going to be going ahead. Look at the spawn. This is the interesting thing we see with 3v3s. Some of these spawns are so lopsided. We do see them spawning over on the other side of the map and going to take this metal position as we do see Sparrow take this elevator height and going to be getting some easy shots on top of them. And they're just going to drop down to that low ground and rotate inside as we look to retake this metal position. SinnerG holding this high ground.
Oh yeah, Vault 1 gets opened. Looks like Steppers just gonna open it and run away. They're kiting up to the top just a little bit, waiting to see if SinnerG will take the bait, so to speak, run into a fight that Steppers is getting more prepared for. Coming in from the top, but Steppers nowhere to be found. SinnerG a little bit confused right now, trying to figure out, hey, these guys opened the vault, they just let us have it, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. Steppers now rotating up to the top to see exactly where SinnerG are taking it, and they've caught out Sparrow in the middle of his rotation. But just as I say that, Just Angel has also fallen early on. Now Sparrow, the next target for the Steppers.
Sparrow gets this high ground and makes his way over on top of that metal as we see Bobo Insane now fighting a 3v2. Sparrow needs to get to his team. That flamethrower trying to get some damage. Unfortunately, it takes big damage and does go down, but Bobo falling first and Sparrow gonna be flanked by Just Angel, just waiting and baiting his teammates on that rotation. I mean, fantastic positioning from Just Angel. Unfortunate timing for Sparrow to just back away as his teammates were pushing the step.
Yeah, it's always gonna be timing at the end of the day, especially for the 3v3s. But hey, SinnerG, they do have a pretty close respawn timer to see exactly where they're going to be able to come back from here. And it looks like they actually have early height here on the Agimo building. Early damage on a Kip will send him running away for safety. Looks like Stepper's going to have to try to figure out they're going to play inside the building. They didn't get to winch the cash out into the spot they wanted to at the moment, but for now, SinnerG just going to take advantage of the fact that, hey, there's nobody around here, and we can jump back in and try that one again. Sparrow goes for the ultimate height, wrapping around, trying to scout out the team if they've gone out for that roadside over by the stage. Rest of SinnerG trying to stack up closer to the cash out, but once again, they're just trying to go for the scout, trying to go for the stage, and Steppers pop out of hiding at the right time to isolate a singular fight. Why saying why? Now on the staircase with his mesh shield in hand, can't do enough damage with the flamethrower to take out 3 at once. Will do a little bit of damage, take out unfortunate, but it's already done. On the other side of things, Just Angel wiping away the rest of the team. And I mean, SinnerG, every single time they try to figure out where this fight's coming from, Steppers, they're just ready and waiting.
I do see a lot of isolated 1v1s going on from Just Angel, not only last game, but this game, it kind of continues through this narrative. Just Angel this time getting the better of Sparrow, where last time I feel like it was a little bit more balanced of those 1v1s, kind of going back and forth. Just Angel's getting some crazy value even still on the entire team of the SinnerG. We're going into this vault too as we get this early high ground, and we're gonna be looking for a face check. Zane and Bobo just running in, not looking for any height, does block that RPG, and Just Angel yet again in the back. Great position to get some back shots as Bobo gets taken down. And we're gonna just go back to Sparrow yet again alone.
Man, he can't keep getting away with this. Like, Just Angel, he just pops out at the right time, and it looks like SinnerG just has no idea where these shots are coming from.
Yeah, I do think a pad would have been a very good there for Satan to set up that lock ball and jump on him. Scout out where Just Angel is and drop accordingly, but Just Angel getting a perfect flank behind that vent, and we're going to be spawning right back in over on this backside. I don't think they're ready for it. Unfortunate looking towards C as we do see Sparrow and Bobo and Satan take this high ground, poking unfortunate off, and now we have control of the high ground. SinnerG gonna make their way down.
They got control of the high ground, Sonsoyo, but they don't have control of the cash out. That seems to be the big issue. And for Steppers, once again, kiting, the name of the game. They hear the movements over to the right, so they're going to pull left. Ready and waiting is Kip, RPG in hand. Also, Winch Claw available just to pull and play manipulation. Now, looks like the C4 is procced ready. Why say why? Gonna jump up on top? A little glitch to prevent anything, but hey, that C4 is gonna go off anyway. Winch Claw is gonna miss there as Kip tries to take the engage over to the solo player for SinnerG, but as of now, Steppers, they still have control. They still control the pacing. SinnerG gonna be trying to deal a little bit of extra damage there. The goo's gonna go out. The flame's gonna set up on top of it. Just Angel, he's already isolated his one. Takes out Bobo with some gas. Sparrow trying to narrowly avoid some shots. Will get a bunch of damage in the back from Kip, who sets up another C4 onto the point just to try and take away any extra util that's been placed up by the rest of the SinnerG while they were away. For now, the last couple seconds of this fight, Y desperately trying to get some damage on that flamethrower. Bobo tries to get a res on Sparrow, who just gets eaten alive. Sonsoyo, that's the name of the game, is SinnerG. They don't even find a single moment of solace here.
Yeah, very unfortunate and well played from the Steppers. Kiting around, I do like they did kind of engage in that fight, but as soon as they saw the moment to run away, they made the dash for it and took that high ground back up onto that second floor and got right above Bobo and Satan down there and was able to set up that C4 and deny the steal yet again. So great rotation from the Stepper, very clinical. And honestly, I've seen a lot of the progression Kip has made throughout the years. And honestly, I think he's becoming one of the better heavies in the scene. He used to be one of those players who just played mesh, play for his team, fantastic mesh. But now seeing him swap on the winch, really showing off that he is able to flex over to multiple specializations. So I really like seeing Kip's growth as a player.
Steppers, but good to see SinnerG at least changing a couple things here and there.
Yeah, and this vault fight, I do think is going to decide a lot of pace. As we just kind of discussed how this map has evolved throughout the year, I think we're going to see a lot of the dominance come down to who wins this first vault fight. And that's kind of true for every single 3v3, but I think especially true on SinnerG.
Oh yeah, 100%. Vault already gonna be under contest, but Bobo, gonna go down immediately, leaving just Sparrow to try and recover the ashes. See what he's gonna be able to do. Yeah, he's just looking for a barrel to light himself on fire with, and that's gonna be the end of Sparrow immediately. SinnerG, get back to the drawing board before I even knew that the drawing board was up.
Yeah, honestly, that was a super fast wipe. I don't know if any sort of fire barrel or anything, or that just RPG just did so much damage and they were able to just team shot him. Sparrow, looking for an off angle, unfortunately was not there for his team in time to heal them. And Just Angel was there to get those H1 infuser shots on his team. So look at this setup.
No winch needed for that one. Just pure jump pad D-mat. Love to see it. That's the classic right there. Why gonna already be down to half HP before he can even get the flamethrower shot. Now it's Just Angel healing up Unfortunate with some beautiful shots. Bobo gets taken away by Kip. Sparrow finds one, but in the dust. Unfortunate goes down two. Just Angel, you know he's got that clutch gene in him though. That fight also already over, but a lot just happened. A lot to unpack there, Sonsoyo.
Yeah, the setup, super clean, super quick. Unfortunately, they were not able to really set up their positioning, but it didn't even matter. They got some great entry damage. Sparrow cleaning up some good damage from that flamethrower on Bobo, making it into a 1v1, but the damage deficit that he had, the health deficit, was just a little bit too strong for that 93R. You are able to 2-burst a light, so I do like the attempt from Sparrow looking for that ego chow, but he needs to hit every single shot if he wanted to take a match.
Oh yeah, and immediately Just Angel able to scout out as SinnerG makes their way back into the building. But Just Angel, Kip, unfortunate, they're stable and waiting. They know that despite the building, it's not even gonna matter that much. Sparrow trying to get the heals out, but Y's already deleted. Bobo does get healed up there. Unfortunate Kip, they're just chasing him down anyway. Sparrow, once again, finds himself separated from the team. He goes down one shot away. Bobo somehow managed to find himself surviving, but Just Angel hunts him down. The thirst for blood is great.
Yeah, I do think there's a little bit of a disconnect between the core of the group, Satan and Bobo and Sparrow. I think Sparrow might be looking for some entry damage before they go in, as Satan and Bobo mainly want to get that probably H1 Infuser support as they go in. But I think their pacing is just a little bit misconstrued, leading them to be isolated from their light. So let's see if they can clean that up and adapt.
I think the best way that they can do this is to just change their engagement, base it off of that gateway. If they can just get Sparrow to throw a gateway to just get Y Satan Y entered into the fight immediately, that's going to save them a lot of headache, because every single one of these fights, Y Satan Y has already been half HP before he can even open fire. This time around, though, tables are turned. It's Kip Kip. Goes down to really low HP. Does get healed up a little bit, but once again, Y Satan Y, he finally gets a chance to do some damage, but his team's already dead behind him. Shots coming in from everywhere, and he has to pull up the shield. Can't finish the shots onto Kip Kip. And just a weird pacing coming out from SinnerG. I guess you could say SinnerG, they don't have the synergy.
Nah, I mean, like I said, I think there's some sort of disconnect there from their pacing. We need to see them come together as a group and make sure that they stay together and get that H1 Infuser value. So I do see a lot of value coming out from Satan and a lot of value coming out from Sparrow, just at the wrong time.
All right, Satan finally gets a little bit closer than usual. Blockball gonna go down, so does the dome. The flames are out. Damage is bursting out. Unfortunate finds its unfortunate end. Kip Kip, though, to be trading out those blows left and right. Y Satan Y comes out on top. Sparrow, though, nowhere to be found in order to heal Satan. He's on the bottom floor. Looks like he's finally going to be able to connect and get that H+ Infuser shot out, as Just Angel looks for the opportunity to get the res on those trophies.
Just Angel just running. I'm not sure if he's going to go for the trophy. He's making his way up the stairs. He may be found. If he makes any noise, he's right underneath the enemy team. They're looking to camp those bodies. Unfortunate, Kip Kip does coin in.
Oh!
And now we're going to be resetting. Satan and Bobo do find Just Angel, and now he's on the run. We'll be taking some long hallway shots as Kip Kip runs out with his RPG. Going to drop that point down and maybe look to force the point. We need to get in position to stall this point out on the first floor. Huge flamethrower damage, but Satan's taking way too much damage. Unfortunately, we need to see that H1 Infuser. Get that H1 Infuser on Bobo. Heal up your team so they can reach out again. They do get the steal. Huge steal from Steppers. And unfortunately, I just think that was a sloppy fight.
I mean, that's the thing, right? They know that if they can start the steal and that cash out early, it's going to force out Y Satan Y. He has to be right on top of the cash out to do any damage. If you're forcing out Satan, it means you're forcing out Sparrow with that H+. It means you're also forcing out Bobo, who has to open up the walls for Satan to get in place. So by means of just, hey, we can drop this out here. We can start the steal right where we want to. We can take full control of that fight. And Steppers, they've just got it under control.
Yeah, and now it's going to be Steppers' map pick. Hell, moving their way up to this pad and into that open office area. So we're going to see if we do get those cash out spawns. I do think another pain point is Mansion because of how open the cross is. There's a few different strategies you can use there. So let's see. We do see office spawn. So this may come into play later in the game.
Got one change up here. Unfortunate on the Pike now. Obviously, the Pike meta has been prevalent through all of Season 7, and especially with the long sight lines that are granted to you on Skyway. To be seeing that already put to use. The damage output to Y Satan Y is just enough to open it up to Kip Kip. Finding the finish, but he's straight out by Bobo. It's a res on a Y Satan Y. We got Sparrow on the up and up, right behind. Unfortunate, Just Angel chases him down. Some light-on-light action all the way up on these rooftops.
And that Pike taking out Sparrow as he's trying to make his escape. Just Angel now going for the res on Kip. We're going to be in a 3v2. Satan is sitting there in the corner, going to get that res up back on Sparrow, and now we're straight back where we were. We do see the steppers on this high ground. That's going to be a tough position to be in. A lockbolt goes down, but it does not hit anyone. He does get some great blocks, utilizing that mesh shield, blocking his shots for Bobo. And now we're going to be taking this high ground and maybe finding Kip over in this corner. Does he find him? Yes, he does. Kip, maybe hey, what was that? Or he just decided to give up. I'm not sure. So we'll see.
Would be one of those possibly giving up there. I mean, fight did seem a little bit winnable. We'll find out. There was some disconnect happening on that side, but for now, this is good opportunity. This is exactly what we were talking about for SinnerG, where, hey, you can get that open office spawn, start to take controls, you get that early scouting info on where the stepper's going to be coming from, and for the first time in a long time, it's SinnerG in control of the cash out from the very beginning.
Yeah, we're going to be jumping ahead. We need to get some entry damage on this team. We don't see much of the way of that. They just walk straight into this building. And now we're going to be taking a slow entry. I'm sure there's going to be a DMAT down on this point as both teams are just walking around and buying their time.
Oh yeah, looks like Unfortunate's already setting up the staircase, and on the other side of it though, Why Say Why walking slowly around as it's dropped down. Why Say Why is right in position to get some early flames out, but it's gonna be Bobo from behind the safety of that mesh shield. The shields and the domes go out, the goo goes out as well. Both teams somewhat of a stalemate. Why Say Why tries to close that gap, but the damage is flowing through as Unfortunate keeps nailing the pipe shot. Just Angel as well with an I3R finds one. Retraded out. Sparrow takes out Kip early, but both teams get defibs on their early picks. Bobo taken out early first, and so is Unfortunate. Why Say Why gets chunked. It's just down once again. The 1v1. Kip just trying to get that health back up. He's not going to be able to. Sparrow finds him in the staircase. This is looking a lot better for SinnerG.
Yeah, that was some good pre-damage on the res on Kip, getting him down to 2-bar, letting his team be able to take him down. I do think they were a little bit too aggressive. I think typically we see teams kite away and stall for time, but they wanted to go straight in. Once they saw that lockbolt hit, they went Hail Mary to that team and looking for the fight. We do see that there's going to be basically no time for steppers to come back in, so they did get a great timing on that wipe.
100%, but Stepper's going to take advantage of this little reset time to try to get that early damage and figure out if they can stall out SinnerG or win an early vault fight here just by means of the fact that they're out here on the main part of the map. And SinnerG, they got to jump their way over. Jump their way over, they do so violent. The lockbolt and the combo, they just jump on Just Angel. Even Kip and Unfortunate to run all the way back to the hotel, but it will have first dibs over construction sponsored by Volpe.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this tap going with 2 up. It's gonna be a long rotation. I think we're gonna be able to get the spawn back in from Just Angel before they even are able to make their approach. We do see Unfortunate sitting on this crane. They're gonna be taking some early shots on Sparrow, hitting 2 of them. That's gonna be pretty scary from Sparrow. If that one headshot comes out, another shot comes out. Sparrow now in the danger zone to be taken out from the pipe. Unfortunate basically getting every shot he had.
Oh yeah, the gateway is gonna move that vault very quickly over towards cash out B. Let's see if he can take it. Where's that gateway? Does Unfortunate know that his team put a gateway for him? He does. There it is. There's the gateway all the way over to cash out B. But SinnerG hot on their tail. They're going to be zipping all the way over. And now down here in the market district, the fight will begin. These tight corridors, these buildings. Why Say Why is able to take really good advantage. Lockbolt, the goo, and the flamethrower. Unfortunate already taken out. Almost 1 HP. Survived. Kip though, not going to have as lucky of a fate. So he gets taken away early on. Why Say Why gonna get res back up? So does Kip. Both teams trying to stabilize. Bobo gets removed early on. That paddle used anyway, regardless. Why Say Why gonna find himself trying to hold back. Both Just Angel and Kip push forward to get that early damage. Just Angel heals up Kip the H+. Unfortunate looks to try and capitalize on this from range out of that flamethrower. And it's gonna be Kip and Just Angel though, dealing the vast majority of that damage. What a wild fight.
Yeah, now we're going to be in the danger zone. We're going to be winching this out, and this is not what you want to see if you're a flamethrower. To be very dangerous, clearing all these stalls out away from the cash out. Be careful to not melee that off as he knocks it over, and it rolls over on perfectly right as a heavy wants to set that up. It's gonna be tough because we're gonna be spawning over on Forest side. Just Angel knows this. He's gonna be pushing over into this building, and if they jump over towards Kip, but unfortunate, Just Angel's in a great spot to get a flank for his team.
Oh yeah, zipline gonna come over, allow Y to close that gap really quickly, but Kip, he doesn't care too much. He knows that he's gonna be able to kite away, and at the end of the day, that cash out is in the open. So they just need to play time until they try to start the steal. Bobo gonna find himself at the other end of the winch there. He gets taken away by Kip. The flames are gonna come out, but Kip has an elevator out just in time. Y though, gonna stick a long res onto Bobo, and as he comes back up, Sparrow trying to get those long range shots from across the way in the market district. Bobo opens up the wall into unfortunate. Y finds his target, tries to jump down into the staircase, take him out early. Just Angel though finds Sparrow outside the buildings. Cash out finishes off in favor of Steppers. Bobo and Y just get chunked out inside the market.
Yeah, a quick and easy fight from the Steppers, just stalling down to the last minute. Just Angel getting some great shots over on that flat top, kind of denying a little bit of pressure, pushing them away from his team and buying them some time. So huge shots from Just Angel with that 93R. Do think he's kind of allowing his team and enabling them very well with that H1 Infuser plus the damage that he's pumping out. Kip may be wary of their spawns, maybe looking for an early RPG. He does have it up. I do think holding that out is great. Gonna use that TP to rotate over with a pad as well. Unfortunate now on this high ground. Taking the gateway back, and now he's stuck. He's stranded himself on the island.
Oh, wow. Maybe this was intentional, though. Unfortunate does want to have a little bit of an off angle and get that pinch timing, especially with that pike, as Just Angel starts to chunk out the damage onto Sparrow. Unfortunately, going to find himself in a really good spot to capitalize on it. Although, unfortunately, Sparrow, he just hit away early on. Now, what's interesting is that Steppers didn't take away any of the God Zips or any of the opportunities for SinnerG to cut over, but still playing well in their favor. Finds one of the guns of Bobo. We're going to see Just Angel get in position to keep Kip healed up through that flamethrower fight. Y takes Unfortunate down, just down to Sparrow, but Just Angel was ready and waiting for him towards the windows.
That was some great heals from Sparrow, getting that value out of Satan. Unfortunately, Bobo got winched straight out of the hands of Satan and into a uncomfortable position, getting taken out rather swiftly. I do think we see the Steppers playing pretty split. I think they should have been able to take out Kip, at least gotten that trade. But unfortunately for them, it was not enough time on that rotation. Gonna be spawning back in, making their way across this bridge and going up the zip. This is gonna be scary. They're all looking right at them. The goo does block every sort of damage coming their way. Sparrow gets taken out by that pike from Unfortunate. That's a light hell, if I were to say so. 3 shots and you're dead. Gonna get the reset on Sparrow. Now Satan's getting a lot of pressure his way, getting taken down. Sparrow back up, but I think it's a little bit too late. Their heavy is now knocked down.
Oh, yeah, there's no chance that this goes away with SinnerG. Steppers just have fun with their food at this point. Just Angel, a little bit of insult to injury there as he's dashing left and right, trying to make that fight last as long as possible. But a fantastic round of Skyway, to say the least. I mean, starting off with SinnerG having such good opportunities in the open office to show why that flamethrower works as well as it does. But once again, for Steppers, once they have that early control of the vault, they really prioritize that vault fight, and they can just have a say in where it goes, how they're going to be able to set up for it. It is just so hard for SinnerG to have any sort of response.
Yeah, and another win from Just Angel, Kip, and Unfortunate. We do see Kip top fragging for his team. A little bit of a different narrative. Just Angel not going to be the fragger this time. Kip finding those connections on those winch, exactly what he needed. And I'm happy that we do see pretty good competition from this flamethrower and SinnerG. We do see these games going down to the wire. A lot of funny teams.
Yeah, wasn't expecting that change up to come in, but I think for Sparrow, it's a much needed adaptation. Kip also going to be changing something up here onto the Akimbos. Just Angel on the sniper. Looks like they're just getting fancy with it here. So I'm very excited to see some sniper action, some 3v3s. Just Angel trying to get in position on top of the cathedral here. He sees his opening. Will he be able to take the shots all the way to the cathedral? The edge.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people have been picking sniper on this map, trying to play it out. I don't think I've seen anyone really use it in pro hubs, any serious competition just yet, except for Rat Salt. But we're going to be going ahead and see Just Angel and how we can make this sniper work. I do think this works very well on Monaco. This is probably the only map to use it on.
Oh yeah, and we look at those cash out spawns. Cash out A going to be over towards the edge of the villas by Pocket Park. We also have cash out B, one of the Royal Plaza spawns. Like I said, the one you're going to want to really stay away from. So you know 100% that SinnerG is going to want to plug this over here closer to A. And for Steppers, they just have a lot of time to deal with this, chunk it out. Sparrow goes down early. Bobo going to use the defibs to get him back up, but still progress made with the Steppers. As soon as I say that, Kip and Just Angel, they're going to get deleted. Nice shots there from Sparrow. Unfortunate, will find one trade, but Sparrow finishes them back off, and now you see SinnerG really looking good after they swap Sparrow to that medium.
Yeah, I think Sparrow's shooting with that pike. Honestly, I do see a lot of shooters be using this, and Sparrow's aim is phenomenal. So we're going to be going ahead and seeing if we can continue this narrative forward. I do think Sparrow's going to be their X factor for this game, and he's going to be playing a little bit off, most likely playing like that light, getting those off angles as he's looking for that spawn. He's looking the wrong way. He does turn and look for them as we do take this headless fight and be using up the mesh shield of Satan. He's going to have very little mesh shield, if any at all, as Just Angel looks for that regen on that sniper.
Oh yeah, and I mean, hey, I don't want to diss the sniper. I will say that for Just Angel, you know, if he's able to hit those shots, it could be brutal if you don't respect it, but, you know, he's not able to capitalize on those headshots. Sparrow, though, gonna be able to find his way in, but Kip, Just Angel, they get one each. Why Satan, why? Takes out Kip, shift out to Sparrow versus Just Angel. I gotta say, Sparrow definitely has the advantage as it comes to this, but Just Angel, he's gonna be sticking this. Sparrow finally comes in. Nice bait. Just Angel preventing Sparrow from getting the reses in. Be down to the sniper versus the pike there. Sniper lands one shot. Sparrow only lands one so far. Sparrow needs to hit two. Just Angel, he hits it first though, and that's gonna be the Steppers winning this cash out in a violent 1v1.
What we're pulling out the defibs there? I'm not sure what he wanted to do. Just Angel clutching up with the sniper. I don't know if he was looking for a res, but from what I saw, he was looking directly up at that window as Just Angel dropped down at him.
Yeah, before Just Angel went for that steal, Sparrow at his defibs out was looking for the chance to res, but he was terrified of the possibility of that cash out getting stolen. So he just had to cut it and run. But Just Angel just that was Sparrow playing right into Just Angel's hands.
I agree. He probably should have went for those defibs instantly. Even if you got the flip, Just Angel got the flip, you could easily retake that with 2v1, force him in, and get that wipe if you needed to. We're going to see a DMAP pad right on top of Bobo. Going to take a big RPG, but Satan's going to be there to deny that follow-up and maybe get the pick on Unfortunate. Unfortunate goes down. Kip looking for Bobo as his medium does get split from that lock bolt. Sparrow going to be lingering a little bit far behind. Takes a big shot from Just Angel on that sniper.
Wow, I mean, I'm just on Just Angel's POV right now, and these shots are crispy. Why say why? Gonna be ducking in for some cover here as Kip goes for the res onto Unfortunate. Gonna be sick in that. They know they don't have to worry too much about this vault fight, but in the meantime, Sparrow just gonna probably point in here. Why say why? And Bobo look for the opportunity to chase through the gateway from Steppers. And just as I say that, Bobo, He's gonna try to run around, stay alive here. 1 HP. Every single player on Steppers is looking to finish that kill. The Just Angel also brought down to the brink at 1 HP. I say why could be trying to run across the street to chase him in, but from up top, it's gonna be unfortunate. Get some shots from down the street. Just Angel takes a sniper shot to finish off Bobo. Now, Sparrow looking to see if he can capitalize on this chaos. He sees Kip from across the way. First shots will come out. Unfortunate. Gonna clap back on his own though.
Yeah, and this vault is just sitting on Grandma's. As we hold this high ground, I don't think anyone's gonna be making a move anytime soon. Kip does get that vault and gonna rotate it over to see Sparrow and Satan do have to either look for the res as they do or waited for that coin, but they're going to opt for the res as Sparrow still on this high ground, going to try and deny the space from Just Angel, but unfortunate is also going to be shooting back as Sparrow as we do go and force this point. It does get dropped, and Kip might have a big RPG, but what a play from Just Angel. He's going to go for that one-shot melee and dash out, back out that window. Very smart, not committing to a fight because he knows he just needs to get that big damage and his team will follow up. Satan Bobo going down, Sparrow getting taken out by that sniper.
I mean, Just Angel walked up the stairs behind and just looking at Sparrow. He's like, I could finish this, but I'm gonna let my team just keep going. Pulls out the heal beam while staring at Sparrow's back. Heals his team from behind Sparrow. Felt a little disrespectful over here at the the shopping district area sponsored by Dissun. You love to see that kind of play come through. Just Angel got a gateway up in the window now as they set up. Be SinnerG's last chance to try and make this one work. They come all the way back. They're gonna be padding up and getting early height, but Steppers are already kiting.
An early lock bolt, thinking he might have found someone on that rooftop, but it's not going to be looking pretty over here. This cash out's out in the middle of this fountain courtyard area. We're going to be going ahead using this flat top as cover. Unfortunate, and Kip rotating over to this high ground as Sparrow looks for any sort of value on the sniper. He does get taken. 2 shots to his name, and now we're going to using this goo to block all line of sight. Sparrow gets taken out by the red barrel, but they do get to split the steal, and now Bobo's going to have to try and make their effort to get that back, but unfortunately, he does go down, and Steppers taking it.
A very clean 2-0, and honestly, I just want to say, Just Angel, that is just disrespectful, pulling out the sniper at the end, but oh my lord, does he deserve it, because those shots were crispy. The team play was good. I gotta say, the Steppers, they have the SinnerG. It's SinnerG wishes they did.
Yeah, and that's gonna be 5 games. Kip and the Steppers do take 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken, and we're gonna see Satan, the SinnerG, take 1 game off of them. So well played from both teams, and thanks for showing up. We do have another game, 5 games coming right to you after this short commercial break. In this Nitsomi Citadel match, we do see Gremlin running Winch, Shack, and Uni on the M11.
Oh yeah, I mean, Uni has been doing a lot of work with the M11. Honestly, a lot of lights have been switching to use the M11 a lot more towards the last few weeks. Just given the fact that, you know, it does so much quick damage, and right now, the way that teams have just been adapting their playstyles, the way that the core gameplay has changed around that H+ infuser, burst damage and quick damage is everything. And so, especially when it comes to, you know, the balance between maybe the DB versus the M11. M11 is gonna match that a lot closer. You can just keep that really bursty, high impact damage, but still have the opportunity to play not like a double barrel.
We're gonna go ahead and throw this cash box away. Lasagna getting hit by a red barrel. Gonna get H1 infusers back up as the llama goes in basically alone. His team needs to follow up on this. He gets winched down. Now he's in a 1v1 versus 3v1 versus Gremlin. And a big RPG. Gremlin does get taken out by spawns. And we're gonna get the reset. 3v3, everyone back up.
Yeah, Llama coming back up there is clutch. Right now we got Team Retwist there setting up underneath, and that low ground seems to be working out quite well as Brent takes some early damage from bottom, but Lasagna is going to be able to find the first two anyway. Brandy, last stand, takes out Lasagna, but he's at just 25 HP. Not much you can do in a 2v1 with that. So that is going to end in the way of Team Refine, but honestly, that was close. A lot closer than it looked towards the end there. A great reset from Retwist.
Yeah, I think both teams had some pretty good resets. Llama going in a little bit too early, but that damage from spawns really evening things up. So great positioning there. We did see a 1v1 come the way of Uni, but Uni got a great flank on spawns, taking him out with relative ease. As these teams spawn back in, this billboard is going to be hard to take. Getting this high ground, setting up on the top of this via building is going to be a dominating position against this billboard. They do have that pad set up and a gateway if they do need to make that approach towards that. If I were Team Retwist, I would try and look for a DMAT down, but they're already privy to that. They're going to be rotating over and getting some big damage on the Llama.
Oh yeah, really, really good. I love seeing this. I mean, hey, I do think Team Refine, they burned their setup a little too early. I love that gateway of the pad ready to go, but honestly, I think just getting that presence early on meant that they knew that Team Retwist was gonna do this, where they pop out right behind them. It allows Llama to get chunked out immediately. Heal Beam actually gonna be missing quite a bit. The H+ infuser misses most of the shots. Llama still has to duck in cover. Back up there, Uni jumps to the bottom floor, trying to look for an opportunity to take some quick damage, but now they have swapped positions fully. Team Retwist set up at the top, the ultimate height, looking to make use of some of that utility to pop over and start putting this cash out in their control. As it drops to the bottom, they find that the control was still in the hands of Refine all along. They pad all the way up to ultimate height, and Grem and Uni both find a kill. It's just down to Llama. He does find one, but with this winch already used, it's Uni that can clap back in with the M11 and deal some critical damage.
Yeah, honestly, fantastic rotations from Refine, moving back and forth from that billboard, going underneath, sneaking down, and using that surprise pad to get the high ground away from Retwist. Clean, clinical rotation.
Kite, kite, kite. That's the name of the game. Just, you know, a string and a piece of paper. I don't actually know what kites are made out of, but you know what? They're good at kiting, so it doesn't matter. But honestly, a pretty great masterclass at how to kite from Team Refine.
Yeah, we're going to be going ahead and going towards this vault. We're going to be getting the tap, and now we're going to have to see Lasagna regroup with Gremlin before any pressure comes his way, but they're not going to look for that because Uni's beaming with that M11. Going to DMAT pad right on top of Brandy. Getting a huge winch kill, and now Llama going down, following suit, dropping like chess pieces. Lasagna now taking that 1v1, getting that teals, allowing him to take out spawns.
That burst damage is everything, and I gotta say, Grem and Lasagna are able to stick together so closely, and the fact that they're still kind of playing with this medium-heavy core together, instead of, you know, what teams are usually going for nowadays, where the light and heavy are sticking close, I mean, it still just gives them such a good advantage. And now Uni, to get that plug early on, set up, to try to look to see where Retwist is going to spawn from. Randy, lead the way in. Bounce pad the DMAT, not going to quite go to plan there for him as they stumble into the stairwell. Uni going to take a bunch of damage, but Spawn's the first to go down. Quick reset there. Spawns gets padded back up. Grem goes down early. Look at the damage. Retwist, only 25 HP to every single player. Spawns tries to escape with his life, but Uni's not having any of that. Spray down finds him down, and Sonsoyo, that fight was exactly 15 seconds long.
Yeah, I think that was some great awareness from Refine to know the health values of that enemy team and push their advantage when they had it. Because if they let them get back up, that would have been a pretty even fight. And we did see some great damage come out, getting that pick on Gremlin, but unfortunately, they just took too much damage going into this. And this is going to be almost impossible, from my perspective, to take and cash out A, because not only do you have to worry about crossing this with 3 beamers, but Spawn's falling off the map. Gonna be another issue in their way. This point also outside, so gonna be dropping down, gonna get that win. And Llama gonna be going down in a 3v2 scenario. There's not much you can do about that.
I mean, I saw the vision with what Spawns was going for, but I mean, this is one of the things that I love about this map, right? Is this gap between Cyber Cafe and Mall. It is so punishing, and if you don't have the time to go all the way around, or even to just like get your light in a position to throw a gateway on a different direction, you just can't cross. I mean, we're already done here on Nozomi Citadel. It was only a 7-minute game. What a fantastic opener, though, for Team Refine versus Team Retwist.
And right at the last second, Brandy falling off the map, just trying to get some aerial shots, maybe get a clean kill. But that game's going to go in the way of Team Refine. And very clean fights. It did seem pretty even right at the start, but we saw Refine take off as soon as they got that plug and really take that momentum and carry it not only throughout that first point, but carrying it throughout the entire game. And very clean. Just a little show there for you. So because of the ability to hide behind the sun, people started running white outfits, and that got swiftly banned from the pro scene. So hopefully we do see some changes happening there. So just an interesting note there.
You don't like bloom and lens flare? Well, you know what? I'm the kind of guy I like to inject lens flare into my veins. It's a lot healthier than the alternatives that are out there today. So we're gonna be looking to see Team Retwist get up on that height first, but Team Refine, I think they want it a little bit more. As Lasagna and Graham gonna set up there, a little bit of a goo barricade to hold them out, keep the cover flowing in their direction. But it's Uni pushing up to the top of the Alpha Actor Casino. He's gonna try to collapse in onto Brenny and Llama early on. Lasagna pads over as well. Already, Brenny and Llama taken away. Spawns, you can just watch in horror as his teammates are reduced to coins.
I think that's all 3 kills from Lasagna, cleaning everything up for his team. We're going to be going ahead. The vault hasn't been tapped, so we may break out into another vault fight because they're going to spawn in halfway through the opening of this. And it doesn't look like a gateway is going to reach to any of these points. B's going to be the closest point. Uni's going to be going to get that vault as close as he can. But it's going to be interesting to see where this team spawns in. And it looks like they do spawn behind it. Unfortunately for them, they're going to have a little bit of a height to go all the way to B as we see Refine getting this plug and setting up this cash out over this at Eastwood Alpha Active building now.
Oh, yeah. Starting off strong over here. I mean, hey, it's right next to the garage, but Sector 3 there is so hard to push into just because both of these rooftops are so flat, so empty, and that is you make out a lot of air. We're gonna be seeing now as the entirety of Team Retwist look to try and make use of this open space, pushing out into Team Refine. Refine, well, they kite away. They're down now into the Alpha Active building, and looks like they're actually trying to take some space as they come all the way back up. It's Lasagna. Perfect Moss shots. They perfectly kited them out as Team Retwist tries to head over to the garage. Team Refine, they just come back out onto the roof of the hotel, and here we go. The last shot's gonna come through, but wait, Llama takes out Lasagna early on. The shots can't finish onto Brendy, leaving Brendy open, but he's stuck in the doorway. Shots out from Grem and Uni. Neither of these teams able to finish their kills, though.
Spawn's going to be spawning in earlier than Lasagna. They need to just hold this body. He needs to not push in here. I don't think this is a smart move. Gonna get taken out, and now it just spawns. I think you just know that you have the pace on this team, and you can just spawn in and make it a 3v2 quicker than they can make it an even 3v3. So pushing that agenda, maybe not the smartest, did not work out for them as we see Refine back on top.
I mean, that's the thing about Refine, right? It's that key timing they have just built into their veins. I mean, just looking to see the way that they came up on top of the hotel, just like the light kiting that they did to try and just tell Team Retwist, yeah, you guys need to go over to the garage. That's where the fight is. Coming right back on top, they just shift the entire fight in their favor in doing so. And That's the thing, right? Sector 3 has this song and dance to it and cash out, but if you know how to play in 3v3s, it is an entirely different beast.
Yeah, honestly, the speed and aggression that they came out to get spawns off that roof was very impressive. We'll be going ahead, getting this tap, and rotating over. They have a long hike all the way over to Vault 2, but they do have to catch into the back, so they get to determine a little bit of pace going to this next cash out, but they aren't in first place. Uni gonna be jumping right in, gonna get an early glitch on Llama, but gets taken out himself. Llama getting that trade and going down, gonna go for that reset. Now we're in a 3v2 as Lasagna looks to res Uni. Low health pool for Brendy and Llama, but Gremlin gets taken out. Brendy gets taken out, and now we're in a 2v2, a winch coming down, and I wouldn't be looking for that winch because you're so low. Spawn's gonna be taking out a lot of that aggression as Llama does end up surviving.
Oh yeah, I mean, the trades were back and forth, but right now Llama, he thought he had it safely enough to take that trophy away and get the reset, but Uni came in clutch there. Spawns as well. Is like, hey, you know what? Found one out, but here we are. Lasagna finds a last shot, and again, it's Team Refine setting the pace, even when they're on the underfoot. So we are going to see Team Refine have the opportunity to get that vault set. Looks like they're going to be planning for a cash out C plant, but let's see what's going to happen now because those cash outs are pretty far away. Team Retwist, actually, if they get a good spawn, they could put a wrench in these plans.
Yeah, gonna be yet again trailing from behind on this plug, but they are gonna have the high ground to their disposal as they do immediately drop down. Uni getting beam from spawn. Huge pick early on. That's gonna be a huge hindrance to Refine's plans as they look to kite away. They do get the res on Uni as Gremlin gets taken out because of that fib, splitting up Refine. And now we should be going for a forced point here. You have a body, or instead we're gonna go take this fight, evening things out. Lasagna now getting that trade, and looks like Uni is gonna be the last to fall.
Wow, I mean, hey, this is the first time we've seen Team Retwist come in clutch, but even though they won that fight, it was kind of messy to begin with, just given the fact that Refine wasn't really in a good spot. Kind of mid-rotation, headed over to the Ospuz Casino, but there's still enough time. Team Refine to respawn, come in here, and end this quickly. So, Team Retwist, they're going to have to do everything they can to get a good reset in. Gateway set up towards the rooftop. Now they're all going to come up on the roof as well, get that early damage out. Early damage is going to look really good for Uni, or towards Uni. He's dropped down to 25 HP. He will have time to reset here, but he'll delay his crossing. Lasagna and Grem now make their way over. Grem's going to drop down with Lasagna together, hand in hand. Looks like Retwist takes some early damage, but they send just enough out as well. Nice RPG to open up with Grem and Lasagna. Damage is a little bit better. Llama and Spawns both go down just up to Brendy to try to hold it out. They punch each other out, but once again, it's Team Refine. They got the reset, they got the steal, and, well, they got Las Vegas out of control.
Yeah, the narrative, what I've been seeing, not only here, but also in Pro Hubs, is that these fights need to happen either super quick, you need to get an early pick, an early winch to take someone out as soon as you can, or you need to make sure you have the resources to get those heals to be a little bit more effective. Those heals carrying people through these fights as well as those early picks. So that's kind of what you need to look for to succeed in this current meta.
100%. I mean, they almost got that early pick onto Uni from across the street, right? If they were able to do that, if they were able to finish off that kill, I genuinely think that Team Refine would have had a much harder time just getting over there. But the other thing as well was that Retwist, they had that early opportunity on top of the Ospuz building to just keep that damage output going, but they gave up that space a little bit too early, which, you know, allowed Team Refine to just continue their push, get up into position, and all Lasagna had to do was demat in, make a little hole for Grem to jump down into, and I mean, hey, the bullets were flying, and Team Retwist just could not handle the smoke.
Difficult to rotate in, so
it has its own meta. There's two games. You have the finals, and then you have Kyoto. It's two different games.
I think Kyoto has gotten a bad rap, honestly. I think it's not as well deserved. I think we should maybe give it a second chance. Maybe you're onto something.
Hey, I'm just saying, no self-promo or anything, but the Kyoto Open is coming soon. Gonna be seeing also Team Retwist versus Team Refined coming in here on Sector 5. Explosive battle already. Graham taking the early damage, but Uni's gonna be able to heal him up through it. We see now as get into this, you see that Team Retwist has that high ground. They're not able to make much use of it. Brendy takes early damage. Spawns also use that H+ fusion to get him healed back up. The pad is going to start early. But Lasagna, he's getting chunked away. Brendy finds a good opener. So does Spawns. Still down to just Grem, though. Nice defib will bring Llama back to a full reset from Team Retwist. But Team Refine, Grem going down here sparks a little bit of change in the air here in favor of Team Retwist.
Yeah, and no hospital points, so quite unfortunate, but they are going to take control of A, and it's going to be... How are they going to set this up? It's going to be maybe a winch out into this alleyway, but no, they're just going to maybe opt for that drop. Llama might want to do it, but his team's a little bit too far. They're set up on this high ground, going to be looking for the rotation. Spawn's going to look for some early shots on the core of the team. Gremlin and Lasagna. Lasagna's taking some huge shots, not able to cross over with his team, and that's going to slow them down pretty much to a standstill.
Oh yeah, I mean, over into the sports court, they do decide to winch it out there. It'll make it a little bit easier, but I don't think Team Retwist needs to worry about that as much as they need to worry about just making sure that Team Refined isn't going to sneak up on them, but that's exactly what they want to do. Uni's going to be using the gateway to bring the team over in silence. They climb up the Holto-sponsored Sector 1. They're going to peek their heads outdoors to see if they can find where Team Retwist is. Retwist has no idea that Refined is just underneath them. The pad, the RPG, the opener is going to start. Graham takes some early damage, though. He's going to go down immediately. Even though Uni is in place to be able to try and recoup some of that, he only finds one on the Brendy. He got the double on the Llama. Maybe this was winnable. Llama already holding the long res to bring Brendy back. Means that if Uni is not doing the same thing, they're gonna have to wait a long time for those coins to come in before this fight really starts to get a reset in.
Yeah, Uni's just gonna sit and wait for those coins as this team goes for the setup, winching it over. Lasagna and Gremlin finally coining in over in the Izzle Tower as this team rotates in. That goo gonna be maybe detrimental to their plans. Gremlin taking some early damage, but it's not gonna be enough to dissuade him to this fight. But that dome dropping may just be the ticket for Llama to take this advantage. And now Lasagna's going in for this steal. A drop comes out. Lasagna in a 2-bar. Spawns, you need to go in and try and stop this, but there's gonna be no time anymore to hop back on.
Yeah, timing really favoring Retwist here, and I mean, even though Lasagna and Uni were in a good spot to try and finish that out, timer was against them in the end. They just had no chance to finish that fight and get the steal, and I mean, that's the thing, right? You choose to get your teammates to coin in, but the RNG of where you're going to spawn back in with those coins can always just make or break. I mean, you gotta play to try to get, try to get a gateway in and try to meet your team halfway and gain them back in a little bit faster. But hey, that's the conversation for next time. Already though, to see Vault 2 get started in, and Team Refined, they're in control early on. And Cash Out C over here in Sector 3.
A big fight coming out of Dome goes down from Gremlin and gets glitched pretty quickly. Lasagna looking for that D-Mat, takes a big RPG and a big chunk of his health as we look to play aggressively. Llama getting taken down by Gremlin. That Shack is going to out DPS the SA-12.
Oh my god, that fight ended before it began. I was actually really confident in Team Retwist. They held up in the room that the cash out was in. So even though Team Refined got the plug, Team Retwist was actually just in control of that whole area. But I think that was exactly what Team Refined wanted, because they were able to just kite them up towards the staircase. As soon as Brendy and Spawns just came out in that hallway, they were insta-deleted. Now, we see Team Refine, they winch it out all the way out into the open. And for Team Retwist, as they try to jump back over from Sector 2, be using the gateway to do so. Oh no, not the gateway to do so. They're just going straight old-fashioned.
Yeah, gonna be going in towards this center building, making their cross, but an RPG maybe great gateway. That was a great position to use that gateway, because that cross can be deadly. getting an RPG on there. They had an RPG with their name on it, avoiding it with that gateway. So very smart play. But this point now going to prove difficult to take. Going to drop this down, break the C4, and look to force a fire barrel getting thrown away. Uni taking that window position over there.
Yeah, nice. Really good timing on the dome, but the winch is even better. Wait a second. Oh, the fly cash out caught by Llama's winch on the way back. I've never seen that before. That's actually hilarious. But yeah, I mean, this fight is pretty much set and done already. His team are fine. They set the timer for themselves here. Team Retwist, they had a chance at a good opening, but as Spawns goes down, they know that there's no chance this fight goes their direction. Grem's gonna jump back in and put that shack to work, finish off the rest of them. That was so funny. So Grem winched the cash up to stall it out, and Llama looked up to try and winch Grem. After the winch went out, it missed Grem. It hit the cash out. It updated. It hit the cash out and pulled it back. That's so funny.
Yeah, that was such a good setup. I don't know how you would even take that. They did get a lucky bounce, as you said, to be able to force that yet again, but not enough damage coming through. Just playing the chase. Lasagna made his getaway with that goo, and now Uni's going to be setting up a gateway plug straight to D as this hospital spawn comes from Retwist. Brendy going to be taken down quickly. That shot going to do a lot of damage in combination with Lasagna's shots. But now they're so low, going to get taken out. Uni, last one left on this low ground. Going to make it escape.
Yeah. And Uni decided not to go for the plug. No need to go for that direct deposit if your team isn't even available. It will give Team Retwist a great opportunity to take it for themselves. They're going to head all the way over down into Sector 2 to make their plug in the Ngimo area. And for this cash out, it's going to be a lot easier for Retwist to hold on to if they can keep track of where Team Refine is going to come over from. Brendy in position, just keep watching Sector 1, sees them padding over. It's exactly what Team Retwist needed, especially as we're here on the last cash out of this map. Grem gonna get healed back up. Uni taking the time to let his health bar reset. Lasagna kind of pinched. Rock in a hard place. Grem makes out with his life. Lasagna and Uni, they're gonna be just fine. They win their fight. Absolutely no issue. Even though that early damage was there, Llama could not capitalize on it. The winch and the SA just not working out for him there. What a fight.
Yeah, they only got early damage on Uni, and that may not be enough right now. The regen of light's going to be so quick. It's going to be very difficult to follow up on that, especially with light dash being meta. Getting away and getting a regen is relatively easy, especially with the expertise of Uni.
Oh yeah, we're going to see now as Team Retwist comes in for what could be their final push. We've got Brendy in place to just try to support. Looks like it's going to be Brendy and Spawn together, pushing up towards the top ropes. Llama in tow. Llama leading out that door. They want to make sure that if there is any pressure from up top, they can clear it out. They know they want to take the fight first before even thinking about the cash out. That timer slowly ticking down. 30 seconds remain. Brendy going to be padding up to the top there. Finds out two. Sees Uni. Is he going to be able to finish a kill? He does finish the shots, but Lasagna waiting with those paddles in hand. Already, Uni is going to be on the respawn, but let's see what happens. Enough stall in the cash out to probably keep it in tow. But the steal, is it still going to finish from Refine? Brendy gets taken away. The steal does not happen. Refine keeps control, and the timer betrays as Team Retwist almost had such a great push, but only 30 seconds, only 23 to work with. There's not much you could do there, Sonsoyo.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. They did have a great goo setup to play it out. And we can take a quick look at the scoreboard.
And yeah, I mean, look at that. 8 kills from Lasagna, 3 from Uni. A lot fewer kills than I was expecting, but I mean, the combat scores that approve it. Every single player put in the elbow grease from Team Refine. Good scores from Team Retwist too, though. I mean, Llama with 4 kills.
A little bit more damage to follow up, make sure that H1 Infuser is out of the way, and or take these fights by surprise and try and get those picks early and quick. But if you let them have that space on that damage, they're just going to heal that right up with that infuser. So you're going to have to look for these picks and trying to waste their util.
Yeah, I will say, this whole season, the H+ has been infusing. And Lasagna, well, that FAMAS is going to be hitting, but maybe not enough damage output just yet. The Goo Grenade going to do just enough to stall to allow Graham to get the final shot. But just like that, Llama comes back up. Graham's going to RPG himself. The damage output is going to be good. Good enough for Brendy to not get his health reset yet. Taken away there. Llama goes down too. Thanks to a nice spray down from Uni. We just find ourselves with spawns left on Team Retwist. Running away, trying to use that 9-3R. Short burst, but Uni manages to dash away just in time. And that M11, wow, it hits hard.
Yeah, that M11's TTK up close definitely beats out the 93R, but that range on it is going to be the difficult point for those light 1v1s. If Spawns is able to bring out that mid to long range battle against that M11, he will have the advantage in these fights. But again, you're going up against Uni, one of the best aimers in the game. It's still going to be tough.
Oh yeah, I gotta say, Uni makes that Uzi look good. We're gonna see Grem pull that cash all the way out to the alleyway. And this is gonna be a really nice hold all the way up at the very top of the workspace. We see Team Retwist looking to engage, but they can't find anything. They find a good grab though. Look at that winch. Grem taken away. Lasagna trying to make his way forward to reclaim some space, but he gets taken out immediately. And Uni, now with the M11 in hand, he's going to be able to take out Spawns. That just leaves us in a 1v1 situation. Llama go for the hard res on a Brendy, but Uni's going to be able to find one as well. Screws Trophy, this is just yet, but looks like Uni is caught out in the mix. He knows that if he can prioritize this res, doesn't matter if Retwist goes to the seal anyway. Looks like Team Retwist, they're going to burn that dome early, even though they don't need to. Grem going to be coming back up first here. Grem back up to the top of the workspace there, thanks to a well-placed gateway. And we're going to see Lasagna coining back in. Spawns has the opportunity to come back as well, but looks like he waited a bit too long to coin. Now, we do see Brendy get, Llama get a nice pick on a Grem before getting traded out. At Spawns, he's got a long walk back.
Yeah, we're going to go for this retake. Lasagna's going to hop on. No, that C4 is not going to do much. Brendy going to get res right as soon as Spawns gets taken down. Now in a 1v1 against Uni. Uni clutching up, getting 2 kills back to back. Wow.
I gotta say, that M11 hits harder than my ex-girlfriend. I cannot believe he was able to win that 1v2 right there. I wasn't afraid the res to come off. I don't think Uni was either, but that's what the M11 does best. You're right up close in the face. It's a lot of output.
And that's gonna be the first point going to Refine. Now back on this high ground, playing scouting for this next vault. Where's it gonna spawn? Over in the campus area.
Oh yeah, back in campus. There is also going to be cash out B that direction. So see if Team Retwist can take advantage of this advantageous spawn. But Refine already well on their way. Spawn's going to drop a little bit of HP. He will try to re-rotate over. Brendy takes a pad, but this is just aim labs for both Lasagna and Uni as they chunk out his health before he lands. Lasagna gets taken out early though, thanks to a nice rotation from Spawn over the bridge. Brandy drops down to the bottom to try to finish off Uni, and he does. Now it's just Gremlin up and running, trying to find any single area he can fight for his life inside of campus. But Brandy has a better angle of opportunity thanks to that D-mat. Drops him right down and gets the finish.
Yeah, fantastic awareness on the positioning. Now we're going to get the tap going. A gateway going to B. B is a great point manipulate. And to your point earlier, this is the point they need to start winching out early so they can have this out in the open and make it almost impossible for Team Refine to retake this cash out. And they were just able to kite away. So let's see if we do get this set up. Llama with that winch.
No.
Not going for the setup. What are we doing? This ain't the start of the game. We need to winch this out. That drop is not going to be as effective. People know many ways around that C4 drop, but interesting nonetheless. Going to be sneaking their way over.
Oh yeah,
underneath.
Lasagna and Grem already pitter pattern their way through, and here it is, the D-mat, the pad. The RPG, no opportunity for a shot just yet, but gonna be just a-okay as Lasagna and Grem make their way over. But Retwist, they're gonna try their arm at this kiting game. They're doing a pretty good job at it, but for Grem, he sees their setup. He says, hey, you know what? They want to drop it. We'll play for the drop as well. But up top is going to be Team Retwist that starts to engage early on, and Grem goes down. We'll see Lasagna try to go for an early defib, but he's not going to be able to. Freddy and Llama still in the way, guarding this trophy with their life and with a dome. Lasagna using some nice movement around that goo. Here comes Uni to clap in on the last of the damage. Brendy, last player standing for Team Retwist. He's going to be able to goo grenade himself over the sidelines, but there it is. There's going to be the reset onto Grem. More than enough space now for Team Refined. Steal this cash out. Send Brendy running for his life.
All right, and let's see if Gremlin sets this up. He fails to winch it out, but he does go for it. Now this DMAP pad stalling a little bit. The Uni in trouble. Gonna get found, does get away. And it looks like Brendy now gonna be the eyes on the eyes of Lasagna. Gonna get some clean damage his way. Gonna be very tough for them to make their approach. Going in, racing towards this cash. They're gonna throw those goos away. They need to hop on it right now because there's about 9 seconds left. Does take some big damage, does get the pick on Uni, but I don't think he has enough time. They're gonna Hail Mary it. It's gonna come down to the wire. It's gonna be not enough time, unfortunately. And that's yet again another Refined win.
Another opportunity for Retwist to winch the cash out. Missed. And I mean, hey, at some point, Team Retwist, you gotta question, is it us? Is it something that we're doing wrong? I will say, they are playing very, very well, but in the Season 7 meta, just gotta say, Grem and Lasagna, they know their way around the DMAT, and just they get that ace timing every single time when it comes into those retakes. And
for me as a top choice, personally, just because if you do get winched as a heavy, you are able to out TTK that heavy 1v1. Obviously, you're gonna have another team shooting at you during that entire time, but the TTK advantage is gonna be huge. Uni jumping right through that tiny little hole. I don't know if anyone saw that. That's pretty nifty.
That's some good tech. Llama does choose to stick out of the SA-1216 here. So, yeah, let's see if that TTK talk does come in. But Llama already down to just 75 HP. Gets healed up just a little bit, but Spawns glitched out before you can make use of the entire H+ infuser. We'll see now Spawns gets dropped out. The extra well-placed explosion. We'll use the rest of that H+, but Llama misses yet another winch. Can't capitalize on it. We're just down to Spawns now. Played his life outside of the building. See if he can stick that res. I believe that's Brendy's trophy. We'll see now as Team Refined, they're in charge of the vault. Let's see where they're going to take it.
It looks like they're going to opt for B. This is my most hated point. It's very tough, not only to defend as a heavy. You're going to have to rely a lot on your teams, but fortunately for Gremlin, he does have a mesh and a shack. Lasagna going to take some early damage and get healed right back up from Uni H1 Infuser. And now going to be playing on this triangle rooftop, playing those Hexations as Uni plays on the bio building.
That's a good shout. I didn't notice the Grem change over from the winch onto the mesh, and I think especially dealing with the pike, it's going to be really, really impactful. But I think Grem is he's still in winch brain. Haven't seen that mesh come out just yet. Llama climbing up the top takes Grem away for life of kids. What a kidnap. Courtesy Udi now up top, trying to capitalize on this new motion here. This Retwist enters into the building here off the side of the theater. You see now Llama still finding good opportunities to get some damage out. As Grem and Uni fall, the theater cash out now in control of Team Retwist.
Llama just dominating that team, just goes in solo. Spawns and Brendy just sitting over on the other side of the roof. Llama goes in crazy, pops off, gets 2 kills on Gremlin and a kill on Lasagna. Huge.
Oh yeah, great stuff. I mean, hey, Llama definitely, you know, he made up for the fact that he missed the first 2 on the vault fight. He hit both winches on that front, so great stuff. Looking now, Spawns early damage up top, but Grem with that shack is gonna very easily pressure him off the point. See Lasagna and Grem hitting up from the side there, while it looks like Mooney is getting a nice pinch over towards the cash out to clear any of that utility that's placed on there. The fake out where he's going to tap it, take the gateway, move over to the side. As Grem just clears Brendy off the sidelines. No defib means it's going to be a lot easier for him to hold on to this. But Llama has the dome ready. Spawns with the clap back in, but Grem wins the fight over there. Is there enough time to win the fight and get the steal? I don't think so. Even though Team Refine got the win, it didn't do it in time.
Yeah, clinical hold. I do like the idea of splitting up. Unfortunately, Brendy went down rather quickly, but it pulled Gremlin away from the fight. He had a little bit of a hike back to his team, and Llama using that distraction to set up perfectly behind that wall, get that stall as spawns came back in. Very well done distraction from Team Retwist.
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly a fight that could have been turned at any moment, but it was just some good kiting from Retwist. Definitely taking some lessons from the last couple of matches. Seeing now, Team Refine really putting in more effort into this Vault fight this time around. Vault 2 in their control. Gonna get a very beautiful gateway, send them all the way across it to the very edge of the shopping district. Cash Out A is waiting. This close quarters building definitely gonna be favoring Llama's SA-12-16. So we'll see what's gonna happen. There's no opportunity for Team Refine to witch this out anywhere else. So you need to take this early damage in the street where the SA isn't gonna be as much of a nuisance.
Yeah, Uni. Oh, Lasagna getting winched in. They need to look for this pick, but he does get the goo and escape with a very fluid motion. Now getting back up to this high ground, regrouping with Gremlin. Gonna be looking for Team Retwist as they rotate just super far away. Now it looks like they're basically going to be defending this cash out. They do have great positioning as we see Refine come back in, take the high ground. Oh, Force Point comes in, Spawn taking some end damage and hiding away, trying to buy his team some time.
Yeah, Team Retwist was just looking out. They just took a little gander at the cash out, make sure there's nothing crazy on it. But Llama and Grem gonna get in the fight here. Llama's SA-12-16 definitely gonna be favoring him in that tight corridor. Quick H+ infuse from Spawn's gonna bring him right back up to full HP. Ready for the next engagement. Gets the last two members of Refine as Lasagna and Uni try to still hold out. Cash out still in their control. As the steal starts to come in, all three players on Team Retwist will be in tow. Uni cannot close the gap. Grem gonna be brought back into a well-timed defense, but nobody's there to help him up. That's gonna be Team Retwist really coming in clutch here. I don't know if there's enough time for Team Refine. This is a very solid win on Bernal from Team Retwist.
Yeah, and their map pick as well, so maybe it's showing that this changeup is exactly what they needed. Not going for the setup yet again, but like you said, there's gonna be no time at all to take this. A very, very commanding win from Team Retwist to end this game 5.
I mean, I gotta say, it's just like we talked about at the very beginning with Bernal. The long sight lines makes it seem like a map where you have so much potential for those long-range weapons, but at the end of the day, there's a reason so many pro teams are choosing to still favor shotguns, whether or not it's the light on the Matter, the heavy on the SA-12-16. When it comes down to it, the finals is a game not about the team fights, not about the long-range engagements, it's about the cash out. When you're close to the cash out, close range chunk damage to the SA-12-16, well, there's nothing like it. Ever since the beta, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, and that's gonna end our show today. A few shout outs before we go. We have a new website up, so check that out. We're coming out with some merch. We got an Ape Squad baseball cap coming out very soon. Stay tuned for that. We do still have the keychain up there as well. But on the website, we have a few new features, an updated weapon data graph for DPS as well as TTKs for every single weapon, as well as we have a map section that shows you the overview of the entire, every single map overhead. So huge effort went into that. So check that out, as well as we got the Apes Pro Rank up and live. Apes Pro Rank Season 0. That goes from Pro Hubs Season 0 all the way up to Volcanic Panic. So check that out. New rankings, as well as I'm Sonsoyo. Ardy, any shout outs from you? I know you're a PHL guy, so.
Hey, I mean, shout out to Ape Squad for bringing me on here. I love the finals. Any opportunity I can to highlight the scene, highlight the pro players, and highlight the cool people doing stuff in the space like yourselves. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I actually want to give a shout out to another member of the community, Walt, because I know that there's going to be a very special event coming up soon with the Cash Ball. But also, just shout out to Pro Hubs, where Saturday will be bringing the last play day. And also, just a shameless self plug, my YouTube, ArdyIRL, got another video about the finals esports coming very soon. So, would appreciate any love and support over there.
Awesome. Everyone go check out Ardy. Thank you so much. We got TNT every Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. EST. Next week, we are unfortunately going to be taking a break. We will be maybe showing a rerun of a prior scrim. So take a look at that if you do want to see that, if you missed out. But without a further ado, we're going to hit a raid. So stay tuned for that as well. And thank you.